Hey, what's up guys? This is Phil again. Today I'm gonna be showing you how I make cabinet doors. I just got a request from a customer to make a simple door on a project that I'm looking at right now. So I'm just gonna show you guys the process and how I go about making cabinet doors. Enjoy the video. So the first thing I do when I'm making doors, I start rough sizing the pieces so I can flat join them. Just to make it easier, and it's easier to flat join a piece that's 3 inches wide than a board that's like 8 inches wide. So that's the first thing I do. I rip it rough to size, then I flat join them. Then I proceed to pass them through the thickness planer, just to make everything uniform and the same thickness. Then once that I'm done with that, I just join one edge to make sure that everything is nice and straight, because the next step is to rip again on a table saw to make sure that all the pieces are the same exact width. In this case, I'll be making a cope and stick door. So I had to break down my shaper that was set up, that I was running molding before, still for my miter saw station. And it was set up to a molding that I apply in the front of the drawer. So the first thing I did was to reset the power feeder and replace the cutter that was there. And I ended up changing the spindle because the cutter that I have for the doors, it's a different diameter bore of the one that I had. So once that I had that done, I just stacked my cutters. It's a six-piece cutter from Freeborn. So once that I have that done, I just set that up. Typically, I set my in-feed, taking a 1/16 of an inch of material, and my out-feed straight to the edge of the cutter. So the out-feed just accepts the board. So once that I finish with that, I just start cutting the pieces. Because of this door, there is no specific size, it's just a sample door. I just made it 18 by 12 inches wide. So that's the process, that's the pieces all cut. Then once that I had all the pieces cut, I just went ahead and coped all the rails. And it's pretty much, I have a jig that I made that I just cope all the pieces. And this is me measuring for the panel. Once that you have all the pieces cut, typically what I do, I measure the rail and I make the panel an 16 to an 8 inch smaller, just to allow expansion and contraction of the panel. And for the style, I just put the rails together back to back and I measure the tongues, which is, in this case, came out to 4 1/4, I believe. And I just add another 8, the same thing. And I just go ahead and make it an 1/8 inch smaller in the width and on the length, just to allow expansion and contraction. In this case, I'm using MDF, so it doesn't expand and contract too much, but I still, depending on the door, I still leave that space to allow the panel to move. Then once that I have the doors glued up, I just let them dry enough so I can pass them through my sander. I do have a white belt sander, which is, it saves a lot of time, but there is no necessity. As long as you make your joints nice and good, you don't have to rely on a sander like this. In this case, I have the sander, so I had the opportunity of acquiring the sander, so I always use it whenever I can. But in most cases, you don't have to have a machine this big in order to make the doors have a nice finish and sand it well. You can achieve the same thing with the orbital sander. Again, I have the machine, so I always use it whenever I can. And it saves me time, and it comes out very nice. Once that I have that done, I move to the edge sander, which is an oscillating edge sander, which is basically, I sand the edges of the door and drawers just to get rid of the sore marks and any marks that might have left in there. So once that I have that done, the doors are completed. In this case, I didn't have to follow any measurements, so I just had to get rid of the sore marks. So it was much easier than I typically do. And this is the finished product. This is a sample of a drawer and a door. I'll be submitting the sample to my customer. Hopefully they like it. And I hope you guys like the video. This is the same process that I do for all the doors and drawers. Obviously, when it's a lot of them, I have a lot more repetitive pieces to do. But this is how I achieve the best result in making the drawers and doors. So enjoy the video and thank you for watching.